Welcome back to Social Media and Web Analytics. It's week 6. Let's go through the learning activities for this week to get the week started. First, there's going to be the video lecture as usual, and this week we're going to talk about the topic of viral marketing. Things we're going to think about is like, what is viral marketing? How we define it? Should we care about it? Which is something that for a long time I struggled with. Then we'll think about, are there features of marketing campaigns, in particular ads, that are associated with increased virality? So what features of ads or how ads are sequenced might make them more shareable? Then we'll also think about improvised marketing interventions, which is, loosely speaking, marketing on the fly. That'll be properly tidied up in the videos to follow, and thinking about, what about those might help them go viral and be highly shared. In addition to the video lecture, there's a computer lecture. And this week, we're going to continue on our journey into text analytics. And we're going to think about sentiment. So how positive or negative a review is, or a piece of text is. And we're going to do that by looking at the words within the review or within the text. So instead of saying something like, here's a Yelp review, it's got a 4-star rating, it's positive, we're going to think about situations where there's just a bunch of text and we don't know, there's no other piece of information telling us that it's positive or negative. We need to look at the text or let the computer look at the text to classify it as positive or negative or neutral. The way we're going to do that is we're going to use what's called a sentiment lexicon, which is going to be a dictionary of words that have kind of, each word might be like positive or negative or have an intensity of positive or negativity, and link that back to the text or the words in our text. Then that's going to give us a word level sentiment score, something like happy is positive and great is positive. But then how do we go from individual words and sentiments of words back to sentiments of text? How do we do that aggregation? Will be something else we think about. And then we'll compare different sentiment lexicons, different dictionaries that try and do the same job, and we'll see how they do in terms of, do they agree with each other in terms of their output? One would hope they do, but we'll probably find that there are a few times where they don't. In the lab sections this week, following on from some feedback, we're going to structure these a little differently. We're still going to have the marketing analytics in a while task, the review of lab assignment 4, but we're going to be a bit more unstructured and let you guys work on stuff that you want to work on. We got some feedback that doing the same thing every week is a little boring, so we're going to let you guys kind of steer that lab section in the way you want to do it when you get there. And then you can kind of work through with the TA, in groups, individually, or as one big group. We'll just let it kind of flow naturally and see how that goes and see if we like doing that. The lab assignment this week builds on the week's computer lecture. So it's going to be treating text as data and doing sentiment analysis. We're going to take the hotel review data set that we used in the previous week to think about fake reviews or not, and now try and classify the reviews within that data set as positive or negative. What's nice is in that data set, there's also some existing classification of positive or negatives. Think of that as the truth. So you'll be able to compare how lexicons perform relative to that benchmark, which is a really nice way of, again, comparing how different sentiment lexicons perform relative to each other. Additional tasks for this week, group assignment 2 is now available and your groups are available. So you can start working on that. And you can continue your exam revision. Exams are coming up. We've now put a mock exam on the course website, and it's online under the assessment tab in the final exam section. In that section, there's also a bit of a caveat about using mock exams as your sole piece of revision material and potential issues that you might stumble across doing that. So kind of be careful when you use a mock exam to revise that that's not the only source of revision, because it's a very focused set of material. And if it's in the mock exam, it's kind of suggestive I'm not going to ask those exact questions again in the final exam. Alrighty, see you in the next video.